Hello, everybody. Welcome to English Speaking and Listening Club. So today, I'm going to talk about how to think and speak in English. Many people who are learning English feel stuck because they are still translating from their own language into English in their head. They hear a question, they think about how to say it in English, they try to form the sentence, and by the time they speak, they feel nervous or forget what they wanted to say. This is very common, and it's something every English learner faces. But if you learn to think directly in English, without translating, it becomes much easier to speak naturally and confidently. In this video, I'll explain why thinking in English is so important, how it helps you speak faster and more smoothly, and I'll share exercises and tips that you can practice every day. By training your mind and your mouth to work together, you'll be able to speak with more confidence and enjoy conversations without fear. First, let's understand why thinking in English is a game changer. When you translate from your native language, your brain has to process two steps. First, you understand what's being said in English. And second, you translate it into your own language to make sense of it. Then, you create your response in your language and translate it back into English before speaking. This takes extra time, and it often makes you nervous because you feel rushed or unsure. But when you learn to think in English, your brain skips the translation process. Instead, it starts understanding and responding in English from the beginning, which makes speaking faster and easier. This is exactly how native speakers communicate. They think and speak in one flow without stopping. So, how can you start training yourself to think in English? The first step is to expose yourself to English as much as possible. Surround yourself with English by listening to it every day. Watch videos, listen to podcasts, and read simple texts where people speak naturally. The more you hear English, the more familiar it becomes, and your brain begins to understand it without having to translate. Start with beginner-level material and gradually challenge yourself as you get more comfortable. Even listening for just 15 or 20 minutes a day can make a huge difference over time. Next, start practicing thinking in English even when you're alone. This is a very powerful exercise. Pick a topic, such as what I'm going to do today, and think about it in English instead of your native language. For example, you can say to yourself, "Today I will go to the market. I will buy some fruits and vegetables. I hope the weather is nice." At first, it might feel strange or difficult, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes. Try to do this every day, and soon your brain will get used to forming thoughts in English without stopping to translate. Another useful method is to talk to yourself in English throughout the day. For example, when you're getting ready in the morning, you can say, "I am brushing my teeth," or "Now I'm taking a shower." While cooking, say, "I am cutting vegetables," or "I need to boil water." This type of self-talk helps you practice common phrases and trains your mind to associate everyday activities with English words. It's like having a conversation with yourself, and it helps reduce anxiety about speaking with others. You can also use sticky notes or labels around your house. Write down English words for objects you use daily, such as door, window, table, or chair, and place them on the actual items. When you see the note, say the word out loud and try to form a sentence using it. For example, if you see door, you can say, "The door is open," or "I need to close the door." This helps reinforce vocabulary and encourages you to speak in English naturally throughout your day. Now, let's talk about how to practice forming sentences quickly. One exercise is called question and answer. Ask yourself simple questions and respond in English immediately. For example, ask, "What's your favorite food?" And answer, "My favorite food is pizza." Then ask, "What do you like to do on the weekend?" And answer, "I like to go hiking and spend time with my family." The key here is to answer without pausing to think in another language. Even if you make mistakes, keep going. This trains your brain to create responses quickly and builds your confidence in real conversations. It's also helpful to record yourself speaking. Choose a topic, speak about it for 1 or 2 minutes, and record it. Then listen to the recording and notice where you hesitated or where pronunciation could be improved. Don't worry about mistakes. Focus on how clearly you spoke and how comfortable you sounded. Over time, you'll notice your speech becoming more fluid, and this feedback loop will make you more confident. Another great way to train yourself is by using fill-in-the-blank exercises. For example, you can start with a sentence like, "I like underscore," and fill it with different words, such as "I like soccer," "I like reading," "I like listening to music." Or, "Today I underscore," and say, "Today I went to the park," "Today I cooked dinner," "Today I cleaned my room." Practicing this way helps you quickly form sentences without stopping to search for words. Confidence also grows when you're comfortable making mistakes. Remember, nobody expects you to speak perfectly. Even native speakers sometimes stumble over words or forget how to say something. What really matters is that you keep going and stay engaged in the conversation. If you pause to think or miss a word, it's okay to smile and continue. Over time, your fluency will improve and conversations will feel more natural. Let's talk about mindset. Before you start speaking, remind yourself that learning is a process. Use positive self-talk, such as "It's okay if I make mistakes. I'm learning every day, and the more I practice, the better I'll get." These thoughts create a supportive environment in your mind and reduce stress. Every time you practice speaking, you're building a new habit, and habits take time to form. By focusing on progress rather than perfection, you'll enjoy the learning process and stay motivated. It's also important to practice with others. If you have friends or family members who speak English, invite them to practice with you regularly. Even casual conversations about simple topics like your favorite foods or hobbies can help you practice forming sentences quickly. If you don't have anyone nearby, consider joining online groups or language exchange communities where people are also learning and supporting each other. When you practice in real conversations, you'll face challenges that force you to think and speak quickly, which builds confidence even faster. Another tip is to set realistic goals. Start by speaking in English for 1 minute each day. Gradually increase the time as you feel more comfortable. You can also challenge yourself by speaking about a new topic each day. For example, one day you can talk about your family, another day about your favorite movie, and another day about your plans for the weekend. These small, achievable goals give you structure and help you build confidence without feeling overwhelmed. Reading and listening together can also improve your ability to think and speak in English. Pick a short passage from a book or article. Read it out loud and then summarize it in your own words without looking at the text. This exercise forces you to process information and respond in English, which strengthens your thinking and speaking skills at the same time. When you practice, it's helpful to slow down your speech at first. Speaking too fast can make you stumble or lose your place, which can increase anxiety. Practice speaking slowly and clearly until you feel comfortable. Once you feel more confident, you can gradually increase your speed while maintaining clarity. Speaking with intention and control shows confidence, even if you speak a little slower at first. One of the most powerful exercises is visualization. Before you speak, imagine yourself having a smooth conversation. Picture yourself sitting with a friend, speaking easily, smiling, and expressing yourself without hesitation. Visualization helps your brain feel more prepared and reduces anxiety. Every time you imagine success, you're training your brain to expect a positive outcome, which makes speaking easier in real life. As you continue to practice, you'll notice small improvements every day. Maybe you'll be able to say one sentence more quickly, or perhaps you'll feel less nervous when speaking with others. Celebrate these small victories because they show that your brain is rewiring itself to think and speak in English more easily. Remember, speaking English confidently is not about knowing everything perfectly. It's about staying calm, trusting yourself, and being willing to communicate even if you don't get it right every time. Confidence grows when you take small steps, practice regularly, and keep a positive attitude. The more you speak, the more comfortable and fluent you'll become. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe.